Today we are going to be canning the fish that we caught in our last episode, dried beans and turkey stock. So let's get started. So I have my jars washed. I have them over here too. Some rings. My lids are actually over here, getting heated up right now. I have my pressure canner out. I have water in my canner already. I have it filled up to there's little lines on here that tell you how much water to put into it. So I have the first one filled up and I have my canning rack in there. Oh, I do have some fish that I had frozen from our last trip that I had in the freezer. So I'm trying to thaw that. It's in some cold water right now. I had some turkey stock in my freezer that I had made and I didn't have room for in a canning batch. So I thawed that and I have that ready. And then I have my fish over here. Just gonna put it in the jars and then I'm gonna look up a couple recipes on seasoning. So I know it says you don't have to get your jar lids hot anymore. I still do. I feel like it's gonna make the stuff stick in it better. Like the red stuff makes it heated up, makes it stickier in my opinion. I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. But I'm going to take that hot water. It has vinegar in it, so my water is really hard, so I tend to do a lot of vinegar and stuff. But I'm just gonna take a paper towel, dump it in, get it wet in the pot with the hot water and vinegar in it. And then I'm going to wipe each of my jars off. This can I didn't want to use in my pressure canner because it looks kind of old and different. So I'll just save that one for water bathing. But I'm just going to dip it in, wipe these off. And this is to remove anything that's on the jar that could prevent it from sealing. Too much crap in that drawer. So I just have a jar lifter. It's magnetic. And I'm just going to use it and put all of these on. I try not to touch the inside of the lid once it's in the hot water. It keeps it cleaner. It's already cleaned, not sanitized. And I'm just going to put just screw the lids on. And the reason why I don't have my fish packed in a jars yet or any of my other lids washed and rings washed, because I'm not sure how many jars I'm going to use today. So I'm kind of measuring everything out. I want to fill my canner, but I also want to put some beans in there and do some dried beans. I've never canned dried beans before, but I'm going to try it. I have a bunch of beans. I've been stocking up on them, and I want to do a full canner load. I don't want to just do a couple jars of fish, so I'm just really trying to plan out everything that I can for this batch. I have my fish fillets, my jar, and I'm just gonna kind of put them in there. I don't know, like I said, I've never done this before. This is my first time. We shall see how it goes. And I wear gloves. I don't like my hands to be dirty. And the smell of this fish will be on them forever. I'm just squishing them down really well. I want to make sure that I have enough fish in there. I'm sure it's gonna cook down and be smaller. It usually does. Okay, so I have my fish all jarred up. I wiped the lids, put the rings on, heated up the lids. I have one with salt and lemon, 1 with salt and smoke seasoning, and then 2 with just plain salt. I only got 4 jars, but that's okay. I wanted a lot more, but we're done fishing for a little while, so this is all I could get. So for the beans, I'm just gonna wash them, rinse them in the sink. I looked up a recipe, that's what it said to do. And then each jar gets a half cup of beans, some salt, and some water. I will measure all that out in a little bit and show that too. And definitely pick out any weird ones or rocks or anything. So I have the beans, it's a half a cup of beans, 1/4 teaspoon of salt and water, 1 inch of headspace. I did mix the beans and the salt up as I was putting water in. Any of them that have floaties in, I'm gonna pick the floaties out and just get rid of them. Then I'm gonna wipe the lids, or wipe the rims, put some lids on them, and put them in the pressure canner. So I have the first layer of my jars in, and I'm gonna put another can right on top of it and then fill it up again. Our canner is starting to steam now, and we're gonna let this go on for 10 minutes before we put the rocker on. That is to get all of the air out of the canner. All right, it's been venting for 10 minutes, so now we're just gonna put the rocker on. Be careful not to get burnt by the steam. And we're just gonna wait for it to get to 11 pounds of pressure. Pressure canner is at 11 pounds. It's more than that actually. I'm gonna turn the stove down a little bit and just monitor it. So we're gonna start our timer for 100 minutes and go from there. I know we have broth in there and that goes for 30 minutes, and then we have beans in there and that goes for 90 minutes, but the fish goes for 100 minutes. So you gotta can, like the longest thing in there is what the time you have to set it for. So we're gonna set it for the 100 for the fish. I don't think the broth is gonna matter. It's not like you can really overcook it as long as it doesn't burn, which it's not going to. The beans, 10 more minutes, they weren't soaked. I think that would be okay also. So my canner's all done and I can take stuff out of it now. So I'm gonna open it up and see what everything looks like. So I know there's not any hot steam in this because it's already been off for a little while, or else I would have like an oven mitt on and transfer it over. It is still kind of hot. I don't know about those beans. They look a little rough, but we'll try them. There's the fish. This is the lemon one. Looks pretty good. Here's one of the plain ones. So we got our beans, our fish, and turkey stock. I'll let these rest overnight. Take the rings off, clean them all, label them, and put them away in the pantry. Overall, I think it was a successful canning batch today. Tonight we're gonna try the fish that we canned. This is just the plain salted fish, no lemon, no smoke seasoning. We haven't tried this yet. I haven't tried canned fish like this at all yet. I've tried it from the store, but not home canned. You put salt and pepper in it? Yeah, so we brought a tray of stuff out here to eat it with. We have some crackers, 2 different kinds, salt and pepper, some just condiments that we had in the fridge, cream cheese, peppers that we grew and pickled, And then some homemade peach jalapeno jam. Would you like to do the honors?
Yeah.
How does it
Smells good.
smell? Smells like fish. Smells like tuna fish, I guess.
Good.
Best way I can compare it.
I'm gonna try a piece just plain
Yeah,
first.
me too. It doesn't have very much flavor. I could have seasoned it differently or better, but it's pretty good.
That is really good.
I think it needs more salt. Maybe some pepper and garlic. Fresh herbs. What are you doing, cat?
It is pretty good, just like that. What are you doing? Oh,
You better not pee. Oh, ha! The cat can smell this. He's looking around behind the camera. I brought napkins too. That's really good. I can't wait to try the smoked one. The smoked is my favorite.
I'm gonna give it just a little shot of pepper. It's pretty good. I need a napkin.
Yeah. That looks like it might be a bone in there. They're supposed to be able to... Yeah, that just disintegrated. I couldn't even pull it out of there. I stole your fork. Ramp butter. Overall, I think this was worth it. I definitely want to do it again and get more. Hopefully next time I'll get a lot more and I can can them. But definitely would recommend, definitely would do it again.